at Robin Park Tennis Centre.
Outside.
And 2 years on from Michael van Gerwen throwing two in the same match on the Pro Tour, do not
25.
rule out more here in Wigan today at Players Championship 2. It is the world #1 mighty Michael van Gerwen, who is looking to continue his winning streak by seeing off Simon Stevenson, the Mirror Man, who has the advantage of throwing first. Now, Simon Stevenson has already beaten
100.
one Dutch world champion in Jelle Klaassen. He started the day with a last leg win against James
60.
Richardson. But beating Michael van Gerwen is a very different prospect, as Simon Stevenson well knows, because he has played him 5 times, and every single time he has been beaten. In fact, he has
95.
never got more than 3 legs against Michael van Gerwen. The best day Simon Stevenson's ever had on the PDC Pro Tour was back in February last year. It's just less than a year ago. It was the 18th. We're on the 10th
58.
today. And he went all the way to the semi-finals in Barnsley, where he was beaten 6-2 by Michael van Gerwen.
100. $80. $81.
Well, Van Gerwen hasn't got going here. This section of the draw, Van Gerwen is at the top as the #1 seed. The winner plays either Kim Huybrechts or another one of our 9-dart heroes today, Gert
139.
Nenches, who stuck in a massive average in beating Mervyn King. Treble 20 leaves tops. You just see Van Gerwen blowing on his hands there.
65.
He might literally need a bit of warming up here, because it has been a slow start. Oh, hello. You thought for a moment that it was
92.
going to go. He started yesterday's streaming game with Johnny Clayton by smashing in a 164.
Game shot.
Yeah, that's a beauty, though. And Simon Stevenson gets a leg on a board. It is a rare thing for Simon Stevenson to actually lead against Michael van Gerwen. As I say, never won
100.
more than 3 legs against him. .108 average almost for MVG, and seeing off
85.
Gavin Carlin in his second round game. He started the day with a 6-5 win over Sean Carroll, only averaged 94.
180.
But how often have we seen it from MVG? If he does go an average, mid-90s, you know, a 94, 95, that was your chance to beat him. And if nobody does beat him then, he can go an average
100.
103 for the rest of the day, or more than that even, and nobody gets close. Yesterday, Scott Baker was the only one who really looked
100.
like he might be able to overturn the green machine and bring his unbeaten run in 2019 to a halt. Won the World Championship on New Year's Day, won the Masters, of course,
180.
on his opening game in the Premier League, but that is a 180 for Simon Stevenson. That's a long way off. Single 16, leaves double top.
81.
Now, if this were to go, 180 followed by 136 for a 2-0 lead. No, not going to happen for the Mirror Man from down in the southwest of the country. Fixes mirrors to luxury yachts. That's his job. That's why he's called the Mirror
85.
Man. All around the board we go.
Game shot. $100. $100. $95.
Jermaine Watamena, yesterday's beaten finalist, losing out to Michael van Gerwen. 3 apiece with the former world master Christoph Ratajski.
134.
That's over on board 8. Kim Hybrex and Gert Nenches. You want to keep an eye on that one because the winner of that faces the winner of this. And right now, it is 4 apiece in that 100. One. Gert Nenches, the up-and-coming young Dutchman.
$140.
It's a beauty. Could stay there, but could look at the 18s. Well, he did stay there. He was looking to leave 26 just to try and put Van Gerwen off. But we're looking at the 17s now for 127 and game. Oh,
111.
Misses outside on the double 8. Great dart, leaves double 18. The tricky switch, as we call it.
Game shot.
Tricky at all, is it? 66, pinned for a 2-1 lead, a 15 darter. Now, Simon Stevenson has just got to keep this up,
38.
and this is the problem against other players. You're not being put under so much pressure all the time. But Van Gerwen is going to pressure you, even though
60.
he only kicked off 38 there. You fancy him to just hit back with a massive score here. Or maybe you don't.
58.
Stevenson will obviously be aware he's never beaten Michael Van Gerwen. He may not be aware that he's never managed to win more
100.
than 3 legs against him. 6-2, 6-1, 6-3, 6-3, 6-2. They're the score lines. And they're all, obviously,
134.
over Simon Stevenson's period in the PDC. He first got his tour card back in 2016. So this is his 4th full year on the tour.
60.
And he does have to make sure he has a decent year this year, because last year wasn't great. He doesn't want to be going back to Q School to try and win his tour card.
123.
Is Van Gerwen just getting into the groove? He started legs very slowly.
$58.
Well, he's had a 38 visit, a 58 visit, and a 27 visit, all in this leg. You sometimes you'll watch Van Gerwen play all day in these tour events, and he'll not have 3 visits like that, so close to each other. You might have a 38 and a 27 in the entire day, let alone 2 in the same leg.
Game shot.
And then it doesn't matter, because he takes out 121 as if he is absolutely nothing. Michael Van Gerwen levels this game, and even though you think Van Gerwen is playing nowhere near his best, he's still averaging 96. This is it, you judge him by different
60.
standards, because you're just expecting him to go out there and blast people away with 110 and 12 averages every time. But look at this, the radar's off, isn't
46.
it? He doesn't look settled, he's stretching his fingers and rubbing his hands, and it does feel a
45.
little bit colder in the hall here than it did yesterday. I don't know if that's perhaps a factor.
139. $96. $100.
See these are the situations where you're really under pressure. You can see Van Gerwen, he's already 80 points clear. You've had 2 darts.
100.
Yeah, and you've not got down to a finish. You know Van Gerwen's going to leave himself handy. Or you're expecting him to. That's again in the 7s.
84.
Usually so reliable on that treble 19, but he does leave that finish, which is his favourite in the game.
$95.
Oh my word. Well, this
42.
isn't the Michael Van Gerwen we saw in action all yesterday. He still has a chance to break the throw here and take a 3-2 lead. Because Stevenson, again, he knows that they're the shots you have to take out. If you're going to beat Michael van Gerwen, you can't afford any mistakes. Oh, bull tops.
Game shot.
Oh, well, look, I mean, it's not the first time he's done that in this game, where he's had a very average visit, and then he's just stepped up and pinned a finish as if it is absolutely nothing. He leads 3-2 with a break of throw, and he'll feel that he has Simon Stevenson where he wants him now. But at the same time, you can tell he's not settled. It's not flowing. Kim Huybrechts and Gert Nenches into a last leg decider.
100.
Watermaner and Ratajski into
93.
a last leg decider over on board 8. Chris Dobey getting going against Daryl Gurney, and the way that Chris Dobey finished that game, difficult one to call, but Gurney's been superb so far today.
140.
104 average for the day. Oh my word! Well, 120 points after 2 darts, 60 left after 3. Now, obviously he's dislodged one. Was the other one destined? It looked destined, didn't it? Wow. Well,
100.
It's mad to say that somebody who's leading 3-2, nothing is going for him. It's not going to happen again, is it? This would be hilarious.
140.
Well, 140 leaves him 68. And despite all that, Simon Stevenson is still forced to take out a 161, and that's not going to happen. So
99.
68 required. Treble 20 for double 4.
Game shot.
Yeah, I think Michael van Gerwen has this one. He can literally throw darts on the floor and he can still win this one.
$140. $134.
I can tell you that Kim Huybrechts
98.
awaits the winner of this one. Gert Nenches. Good run to see off Mervyn King
81.
and produce a 9-darter. And Van Gerwen, that's the most frustrated I've seen him in, well, months, I think. You never saw that at the World Championship because nobody could get near him. Didn't see that at the Masters because he just cruised to victory
99.
there.
$180.
It's a bit more like it for MVG. Only averaging just shy of a ton.
98.
106 required. Double 16.
74.
Well, it's a let-off. But he has to take advantage, Simon Stevenson. If this does not go, surely it's game over. Well, early on in the game, he went treble 10, missed inside on the 18s and pinned the double 9, but he wasn't able to repeat the trick, and that means that Van Gerwen, double 4 for 5-2. Last start in hand, it is pinned 5-2, and it looks as if the run will continue. Van Gerwen, it was a breaker throw as well. Needed telling that. For a 6th consecutive win against Simon Stevenson, and to deny him even getting close, that is another 180. Well, there's a couple now for Simon Stevenson.
$93.
Well, we've already seen one on this board. Go on, Simon. Yes. Oh.
80. 58.
Well, if you're not going to win it with a 9-darter, winning it with a 170 isn't a bad option. And we know that Michael van Gerwen is the most likely player in the world to take this finish out. He leaves it
60.
more often than anybody else. He goes for it. He will go for this. He will go for it. Oh, and he doesn't really get near it. It kind of sums up his game, Michael van Gerwen. It's there. It's the end of his fingertips. He's just not been able to access it throughout this match. And he's going to end up averaging somewhere near 100 here. And yet it has looked pretty poor. Well, and that's pretty poor.
No score.
And he's decided to bust. I mean, he missed the big... He was going for the 3 and he's hit the 7-2. I mean, it's just mess. A real mess from the world's best player.
100.
Well, Stevenson has at least asked the question. There will be no mistake this time from MVG.
Game shot.
Absolutely not. It was not a focused display from Michael van Gerwen. For the second time today, he averages in the mid-90s. He got away with it in round 1. He's kind of got away with it there against Simon Stevenson, but it's 6 wins out of 6 for MVG.